Hello, and welcome to another update video about QNT. QNT still comes down lower here in a very complex corrective structure. And you can see that the volatility seems to be reducing all the time. So it's just sort of in a very tight space it's moving there. But literally since my last update, nothing has changed. We witnessed the price in the last update break below the lower channels, the descending channels lower boundary line, came basically below the wave 4 low and recovered quite quickly, okay? However, this is of course too small and not enough of a move to confirm that it's bullish in any way. The subwave structures, I have to say, are very challenging here. I'm not going to add any more detail to the wave count. The risk is over-labeling, and it's just getting too complex, okay? I also received a few questions on our Discord server about this wave count, and just because we have a WXY structure and in the Y wave we have another WXY, and then within that we have an ABC, and the C wave is an ending diagonal. Now, I have to say, I mean, this labeling is not really useful for trading, right? I just put it on here just for the analysis, just so that I can explain things, and basically just that we can calculate the resistances which are relevant. But there was a question about, okay, can a WXY structure, which is a complex correction itself, can one of the subwaves contain another complex correction? And yeah, I've seen it before. I have seen it. It does work. It exists. Yeah, I'm also not the only Elliott wave analyst doing that. It is not a rule break or anything. It's also not specifically stated in the Elliott wave principle book, so there's nothing about that actually in there. Markets have become potentially more complex than they were in the past, and I think there is a space for it. But then, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what we need is Elliott wave that's pragmatic, that's useful for trading, and we don't need to label every single micro count in a correction. It's not so useful. For trading, it's not useful, it's not important. And also, what is much more important than trying to get to the most accurate and pristine wave count within a correction is to watch for a 1-2 setup that's holding above support. That is so much more important. Yeah, we want to identify the 1-2 setups which we want to trade. Yeah, well, ideally we want to trade the third wave, okay? And we need to watch for these wave 2 corrections and if they can hold above support. Support is here between basically the main support area between $60 and $80. This really needs to hold this range to keep a bullish outlook on the QNT chart. I haven't bought anything here. I'm not going to do anything until I see a first 5-wave move up above resistance and then a 3-wave pullback. Yes, I will not get the best price, but I'm happy with that because buying the best price means you try to catch the falling knife, which could just fall a little further, and it could actually just fall much further. So for me, until we have some evidence that a new uptrend has begun, I'm not going to do anything here. And probably then, I will take a futures position or long position. But at the moment, this can just drop further, okay? So from that point of view, we're waiting for those wave structures that tell us that a trend might have shifted. How do they look like? Well, we need 5 waves up. I know people can't hear it anymore, but that is the process that also on this chart has kept us out of so much trouble. Yeah, we haven't called a low here at any point. The forecast has consistently been lower over recent months, and I know people couldn't hear it anymore, but it is what it is. We focus on lower until we see that structure, and it needs to be a break above, ideally at least the B wave high at $101.50. Yeah, and then better the wave 4 high at $105. But at some point we need to say, okay, that's enough. So I just want to see 5 waves up above initial resistance, followed by a 3-wave pullback. And you can see what's happening here is just too small to indicate any trend shift or anything. Especially, so I honestly, for me, the downside pressure remains. And by the way, $80 is still an ideal target for me. The downside pressure remains very high for me as long as the price stays below this block of structural resistance. Yeah, it has been support before. It was flipped for resistance. And that's something that needs to be taken out first, okay? So I cannot say something is bottomed as long as it's below major resistance. Yeah, that's my update about QNT. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.